everyone, it's Imogen. Welcome back to Colouring Kid. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the pictures that I've completed during the month of August. I do just have a couple of things that I want to mention actually. Firstly, thank you so much to all of you who have watched my fine liner video. I mean, for my videos, that just absolutely blew up. The amount of views I got on that video within the first day was crazy, so I really appreciate that. I was not expecting to get that response. If you've got any similar videos you'd like to see, let me know, regarding fine liners. I've had a couple of requests to actually use them in a colour and chat, so hopefully I can get around to that for you. And also I'm going to be trying to upload on specific days. So for my completed pages, my haul and my what's in my colouring bag videos, I'm going to hopefully upload my completed pages on the 1st of every month, my haul video on the 4th of every month, and then the what's in my colouring bag on the 8th of every month. So hopefully that's all right. I'm going to try and stick to it because I've been a bit better at the moment at being able to schedule videos. So hopefully I can do that. I will have a updates video coming at some point. Just talking about changes to my channel with regards to me starting college and how I plan to keep my videos going, but on kind of a schedule, that sort of thing. So you can expect to see that after these videos. So I'm going to start by sharing with you this PDF that I did. This is from, well, it's one of the pictures that Ritaberman created in celebration of her release of her new book, Minorizer Europa. I never know if I'm saying that right, I apologise. So yeah, this is one of 2 PDFs that I think you can still get on the link of her bio on Instagram. Now this, I just used dual brush markers. They're kind of like Tombos. I will share them with you in my haul. Sue very kindly sent them to me from one of her friends that didn't use them. So yeah, they're basically like Tombos, and the colour range is fantastic. It's 120 set. I don't know where the lady got them from. I'm presuming it was Amazon, but they're great, and I just was kind of testing out doing layering with them and trying out different ways of using them basically, and I really like how it came out. I did go over with some neon gel pens, and actually that's my favourite new kind of thing that I've done recently. I used the pink one on lots of the purple. I used the yellow a lot, so I outlined the ladybirds to make them pop, the butterfly up here. My favourite thing is that I added highlights to the lights, and you can't really see it. It's not quite as bright as in real life, but I'm really happy with this. My printer just sometimes does this though. You get kind of streaking with the ink, but it didn't actually affect the page, so I'm really pleased with that one. And I've been playing around with turning my illustrations into stickers, not to sell or anything on my shop, because obviously these are illustrations from the artists, but just for my own kind of fun project. So these actually worked really well. I'm pleased with these. You obviously can't see the neon as much because I scan them into the computer. But what I might do is give these away as kind of my freebie with my orders. My shop is now closed until half term, which is like the end of October. But yeah, I think I might do that actually. That might be quite a fun personalisation to it. But I'm really pleased with those. It's fun testing it out, and I had so much fun colouring that. I then also have another kind of testing piece that I did. This wasn't a full page, it was just a very small area of one of the practice pages. This is the Forest Girls Colouring Book Premium Edition, so this is kind of what's known as the second Forest Girl colouring book in the community. This is hardback and it's watercolour paper, and I was using the dual brush pens for this, and they did not work well on the paper if you just applied them, because I couldn't then go in with water and water them down. I found the best way to use them was to just kind of draw onto a plastic plate and then activate them with water. That seemed to work well. And I'm really pleased with how it's coming out. I haven't decided yet with this if I'm going to do a watercolour or gouache base, or in this case a dual brush marker base, and then go over with pencil. So I haven't actually gone over with pencil for this. And to be honest, I don't think all of it necessarily needs pencil. I think maybe her hair could do with a little bit of definition, but they worked really well, and it was nice to just test out the paper and a new product. I was quite nervous to try it out because I didn't want to ruin it, but it is only a tester, so that doesn't matter. There was only one area where I was continuously putting the colour down because it wasn't working, and there was a little bit of feed through, but it doesn't bother me at all. But this is a gorgeous book, and I got this last month on Amazon and it was about £12, so keep an eye out. I know, I'm not sure if they have them anymore in Amazon UK, but I think Book Depository are having more of the foreign books up now for really good prices. So yeah, I'd really recommend seeing if you can get that one. Okay, so moving on to my completed pages now, we have Minorizer Woodland Wild. This is my first picture that I've done in this book. I've wanted to work in this book for a while since my uncle, aunt and cousins got it for me for my birthday, but I wanted to wait until it was closer to the autumn season and do something that kind of fit more with the time, and we're just coming into the autumnal season now in September. So this is the picture that I did. I also wanted this to be, to be able to participate in A is for August by Corey from Colourfully Optimistic, and I just used Arteza pencil, that was it. I didn't even feel like it needed gel pen or anything like that. I just wanted it to be solid colour, so I left it. So that's all I used, and it's very rare that I don't add embellishments, but I really like how it turned out. So yeah, this one was just Arteza pencils, and I think I'm just trying to work out what I blended them with. I think I may have blended them with a blender pencil. Yes, it was the Caran d'Ache blender pencil to get the kind of sheen. And the background was pencil as well. I just went over with a really light layer of the green. And actually, this didn't take me too long. It was about maybe 4 or 5 sittings over 4 days maybe. But yeah, the fun bit was trying to colour all of the mushrooms realistically, but it was very tricky to find out exactly which one was which, because obviously it's stylised, it's still Minorizer style, and some of them were quite similar, and when I was searching them up I couldn't tell which one was which. But I tried to use a limited amount of colours but on as many mushrooms as I could, and overall I'm really pleased with the effect. And this is a gorgeous book. I mean, this was my favourite page, and usually I wouldn't do my favourite page first, but it was just lovely. And I do like as well with her pages that some of them aren't as detailed as they used to be, so there are definitely, you know, a scaled back amount of pages with not much on them, kind of like this one, and also, you know, some of the others with no background. So yeah, it's a lovely book. I recommend that one. She's coming out with a new one as well, Secrets of the Sea. But what I'm kind of doing now is I feel like I don't need to get some new books immediately, so I might get them at some point, but not straight as they come out, if that makes sense. Okay, so my next completed page is from Mythographic Dream Garden by Fabiano Attanasio, and I was sent this book from Sue, which was so generous of her, last month, and I wanted to work in it as soon as possible after I'd finished my Mythographic Imagine page. So I did work in this one primarily when we were on holiday, so you can find the progress of this page in my vlog. This one was all Holbein and a few of my new Caran d'Ache Luminance. I just have a few singles of these. Let me find them for you. I have a blue one somewhere that I'm using, but I got a light blue and then these two colours, light aubergine and olive brown 50%. I got them at the London Graphics Design Centre. I wanted to use all 3 of them in my page at some point, which is what I tried to do. So I had already done the background. This was a whip from last month and I finished it, and I'm actually really pleased with it. It was challenging for me trying to come up with new ways of colouring the flowers and just, you know, not using my standard colours that I would use. So for these cherry blossom ones here, I did use a few polychromos. I just layered the polychromos instead of gravitating towards lighter colours. Instead I layered darker colours very lightly. And the only embellishment, in fact the same as the Mythographic Imagine, the only embellishment I used was white gel pen, because that's all I want to use in, on these pictures. If you watch my vlog, I did mention how originally I made a mistake on the page. I've just realised that I don't think I've coloured one of the leaves in. Just bear with me, I'm going to do it whilst I'm chatting with you. Yeah, I made a mistake on the background bit down here. I did it brown when initially, well, after I'd done it, I thought it actually should have been green. And when I had seen this page, I always envisioned it being brown, so I did it brown. But I think it should have been grass in hindsight, but I actually prefer it brown because it means that the greens pop more, and it just makes the brighter colours on the page look brighter because you've got the more muted brown in the background. So I actually really do like it, even though it's probably not, you know, realistically meant to be brown. But these pages aren't meant to be realistic anyway, are they? Because it's a dream garden. If you watch my fine liner video, I talked about how I used fine liners on this page. I did a scumbling effect with fine liners for the trees and then went over with pencil. You can't see it, any of the effects, but what it did do was give brighter areas, which I really liked. And I think, oh yeah, I did white out some of the hidden objects if they didn't make sense in the page. So I kept some of them in. I kept the pendant, the perfume bottle, the candle, the sweet, and the bucket here and the cookie clock. But I took out, I'm not sure if you probably can see them, the scissors, the question mark, the bulldog clip, paper clip, and the chili up there. So some just didn't make sense and I wanted to take them out. So I used a white Pitt pen, yeah, to just try and lighten the lines with that one. And yeah, I think that worked quite well. I want to experiment with, you know, what's the easiest way to do that, because yeah, some of them just didn't make sense. But yeah, I really like how it turned out, and I incorrectly said that this was a grasshopper last month. It's actually a mantis. The page is called Mantis Moon. They all have titles in the back of the book, if you're wondering. But yeah, I'm really chuffed with this one. So the next page I'm going to do is either going to be from Mythographic Paradise or Mythographic Frozen Fantasies. So I can't wait to do another in the Mythographic series. Okay, I then have a completed page from my Domings colouring postcards. As I've said in previous videos, I won't put the link to this where you can buy it, because I did actually buy it from a dodgy website without intending to. And I wanted to turn the PDF that I bought into postcards because I've been loving colouring the Clara postcards so much. But obviously, now that I know it's a dodgy website, I think the only way to get these illustrations would be to buy the book, which is very expensive. So the one I did was the last page that comes in the book, which is the Alice in Wonderland one. So I have also printed out all of the reference images so that I can try and colour them as close to the artist's interpretation as I can. So yeah, this is the one that I did. I wanted to do it after we'd been to the Alice in Wonderland exhibition, and I am so happy with it. Again, this is one that I didn't actually use any embellishments on, apart from a tiny bit of white gel pen. But yeah, I am really pleased with it, and it didn't take long. I remember we came when we went on holiday on a Saturday, and I finished it on the Monday. We had a quiet day on the Sunday, and I really enjoyed working on it. This was Black Widow pencil, all of it, and because of the card that I use, it did create indentations. So what I've decided to do with the ones that I colour is put a coloured backing on the back, just to make it look nice and feel thicker as well, and kind of try and present them nicely. So what do you think? I mean, mine isn't exactly the same. I didn't do her face quite as pink, and some of the areas aren't quite as dark. And the other thing I noticed was that they drew in some of the kind of border here for the background. I decided not to do that because I quite liked how it was already, but I tried to do it as close as I could, and it was lovely working with the Black Widow pencils. I love them. So that is that one. Really chuffed with that. Can't wait to do another. And you know, if they're not going to take that long, that's brilliant. And especially since I have the colour palette figured out already, it's just a case of doing them. So that's that one. I then have a completed page from I Believe in Fairies by Clara Markova. This is my 9th now, and I'm really pleased because I've almost managed to do one of these every month. Not all the time, but I've done 9 and I've had them since the end of October, so almost one a month. So this is the one that I did. Again, I did it on holiday, and this goes for Clara's Magical August, which was hosted by Effie from Effie Colours. And this one, I had a limited amount of embellishments to use because I was on holiday, and decided not to take too much because I didn't know how many pictures I was actually going to complete. So the only embellishments I had were a gold metallic gel pen, one of the Sakura jelly rolls, a clear jelly roll Stardust, and a clear jelly roll glaze as well. So they're the only things that I used, and I love how it's turned out. My favourite bit is probably, well, the favourite accent embellishment that I did was kind of the shimmery trail that I added from the butterfly. And with the butterfly and lots of the areas, I outlined them in glaze first. So originally this was a whip from a couple of months ago, and I'd started doing the flowers down here in a really bright purple from the Castle Art pencils, and I ended up changing my mind and using that new purple that I got from the Luminance pencils, and I still did the same effect that I was going for, but I just muted it, and I love so much more how it's turned out. So I had seen a picture of grape hyacinths going from purple to green, or kind of a green to white, and I wanted to do the same. But apart from that, everything is Castle Art pencil, and I couldn't be happier with it because I'm also really pleased that I was testing out the Castle Arts and seeing how they worked, and I thought they worked really well on this cardstock. Again, I've forgotten to colour the back. I should probably do that. I've forgotten to do that now for like the past 4. So yeah, especially I like the kind of flicking motion that I did for the house. It was almost like colouring hair or fur. Yeah, and that was really fun. I used my Derwent blender pen a lot as well for this. So for the grass, the background, I think that's pretty much it. But yeah, I did use it a lot and served me well. So that's that one. I realised when I was colouring it that it's actually quite similar in colour palette to the first picture that I did. Not quite, but almost. So that's that one. I have a couple more whips to show you. So I actually only did, what was that, 5 completed pages, which is quite good for me because as I've been saying in my videos, it's more about the process of colouring and me enjoying it rather than rushing to complete pages. Yes, I have a whip in Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. I've only just started this one, and I'm not sure if you're even going to be able to see on camera. I have done a cloud stencil background with pastels for the background of this page. Originally, when I coloured this page before, I didn't do a background, and I'm glad that I've done one. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see, I'm sorry about that. It is very light, but I can see it better in person. So I just did that, rubbed out all of the areas where the pastel got onto the flowers and things like that, and I'm probably gonna just continue with it as and when I want to. It originally turned out, if you remember from my first copy, it originally turned out like this, so I didn't do a background, and I actually think it does benefit from a background, just because, you know, in real life it would have a sky of some sort. So yeah, I'm glad that I put one in. I'm not sure this time around if I'm going to add as much glitter as I did, because it has spread a lot, but we'll see. I'm not sure about it yet, but I just didn't know what to do with it, and I thought, well, I'll just put the background down, because at least I then start it and I'll go from there. So that's my whip in Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. I then have two Ritaberman whips. So the first one is from Die Welt unter der Lupe Zélande, and this one I also started on holiday. This one I'm doing really slowly, just because I'm taking my time with it, and also it has just been taking me a while because there's lots of repetition on this border, which I don't mind. Once in a while I really like doing repetitive things. I'm using Black Widow pencil all apart from the rose here, which I did with polychromos, and a few Black Widows. But yeah, everything's Black Widow apart from that. The background was actually a really light base of a Pablo pencil that I have. It's that lime green one that I bought a while ago. And yeah, so now that I've done all of this, apart from these little stalks that I need to finish off, see, I've only got the middle bit, and I'm loving how it's turning out. I was watching back one of Peter Hewitt's videos, Fair Completed Pages, and I remembered that she did this one, and I wanted to do another picture in this book, but I didn't know which one, so I was inspired by her to do this page, because I hadn't actually done it in my first copy. In terms of embellishments, I'm probably only going to use my Jelly Roll Gold and the Stardust paint that I have from Calero, and my white gel pen, just like I've done here, because yeah, I think minimal accents will look nice on this one. So that's one that I'm hopefully going to finish in September. Can't believe it's September already. And the other one I have is, of course, Rita's brand new book, Minorizer Europa. And the one I'm working on is this one. So I'm almost done with it. Again, taking my time. What I found that I'm doing more, which is kind of surprising to me, is that I kind of went, once I've done the background, I went around the whole picture and did all the red, and then I've started doing all the blue and that sort of thing. So I'm doing it in stages rather than just working on one thing, working on another. And I actually really like that process of taking a page, because it kind of means that slowly all of the page is getting finished, rather than one part being finished and the other part being blank. So I'm really liking that. I haven't done, there's some red I need to do and some brown I need to do up here, but I do really like how it's turning out. Again, this one's been taking me quite a while, but I'm enjoying the process. I knew straight away when I saw the autumn leaves that I wanted to do an autumnal background, and I used Zest It Blend and lots of really light layers of the Black Widow pencils. I'm not sure if I mentioned, I'm just using Black Widows primarily in her books. And then I wanted to try a bokeh background, but to concentrate all of the bokeh around where the leaves are. So there's darker areas of the bokeh just around the leaves, and I'm so happy with it. I'll definitely be doing that technique again. I just freehand drew all of the circles in because they were really small ones, and yeah, I just need to finish it. It shouldn't take me too much longer. I did search a picture for brick just so that I could try and do it semi-realistically, and yeah, it is almost done, and I'm really happy with it. I love this book so much. And I did say in my flip through I was probably going to do one of the London pages first, and I wasn't wrong. I did decide to go for that one. But there are so many gorgeous ones. I just don't know which one I'm going to do next. But that's my aim for September, to finish this one. And I'm sure I will, because that's the picture that I've been working on most recently. And then finally we have Fragile World by Kirby Rosannes. And I have done a little bit more of my background. So I'm doing a buddy colour with Valentina on this page, and I don't think she's started her page yet, which is not a problem because, as you can see, I have barely started mine. But I didn't get around to as much of this as I had hoped, but at least I did a bit, and that's the main thing. We're taking it really slowly. I'm not sure if it's showing up that well, but I've done all of this bit of the background now. I've outlined it all in white gel pen, I've coloured it, so I'm really happy with that. So I know my intention for this month was to finish the whole of the sky, and yeah, I always say I'm going to do it, and from now on I'm just going to say in my my bag videos to just hope that I do it, just so that it doesn't, not that I feel like I've let myself down by not doing it, but just so that I don't give myself false hope and then don't get around to it. So yeah, I hope by next month that I can say that I finished the background, but you never know. And Valentine's also very kindly sent me some pictures for reference for this page, so I'm looking forward to seeing how I can, you know, use the colours for this picture. So that's that one. So that's everything I have to share with you. Obviously not as many pictures as I usually do. I know that even though it was a kind of free month for me because I was on holiday, I was still finding that I was very busy. We were seeing people, which was lovely. I was working, you know, obviously I was fulfilling orders for my shop, so I still found that I was quite busy, and I was taking my time with pictures more. So you know, that's nice. It was lovely to actually have the time to be able to just sit down and colour really slowly and take my time. For example, in my Europa book, yesterday, this brick did take me quite a while. Choosing the colours and actually colouring it probably took me about half an hour, and I don't mind, you know, it's great. Even if I only complete 2 pictures in a month, at least I can say I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm also going to be talking about in my updates video, just because I know that having a colouring channel, I feel like that there used to be for me that expectation that I had to complete loads of pictures, and actually as I've kind of gone through doing these videos and I've seen all your lovely comments, it's not so much about the amount of pictures I complete that I'm noticing. It's just more that, you know, it's how I've coloured them more. So yeah, that's pretty much one of the updates that I was kind of wanting to talk about, but I will go into more depth about it in that updates video, so you can probably expect to see that after this video, the haul video in the what's in my colouring bag, and then obviously I have my colouring book collection videos coming, which is exciting. So yeah, that's all for from me for now. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.